Have you ever felt that nagging feeling like something's just off? Maybe your career feels stagnant, or your relationships are shifting. Maybe you're at a crossroads, unsure of where to turn. These transitions can be unsettling, filled with fear, doubt, and a million what-ifs. But what if I told you that change isn't something to fear? What if it's actually an invitation to rewrite your story and create a life you truly love? I'm Kristy Cook, and this is Pivotista, your guide to navigating life's biggest changes with clarity, confidence, and purpose. Today, we're diving into 5 essential steps to help you embrace change and pivot with power. Whether you're switching careers, launching a business, or simply stepping into a new version of yourself, this episode will equip you with a clear roadmap. Get ready to acknowledge where you are, clarify where you want to go, and take those first intentional steps forward, all while building resilience and finding the support you need. If you're ready to ditch the feeling of being stuck and step into your next chapter with confidence, let's dive in. As we know, life throws us curveballs. Maybe you're feeling stuck in your career, navigating a breakup, taking the leap into entrepreneurship, or facing some other major life shift. Whatever your pivot point, one thing's for sure: change can feel overwhelming. It can shake things up and leave you feeling uncertain about the future. But here's the truth: your pivot isn't an ending. It's a chance to create something extraordinary. Imagine setting off on a road trip without knowing your starting point. You might end up anywhere but your destination, right? The same goes for life's journeys. The first step to making any meaningful change is honestly acknowledging where you are without judgment. Think of it as pinpointing your starting location on a map before charting your course. So often we coast through life on autopilot, staying in jobs or relationships or routines simply because they're familiar. But if you feel that nagging sense of restlessness, frustration, or like something's missing, that's your intuition trying to tell you something. Instead of ignoring it, lean in and listen. Ask yourself, what parts of my life feel out of alignment? What am I holding on to out of fear rather than true desire? If nothing changed in my life in 5 years, how would I feel looking back on that time? I know these aren't always easy questions to confront. They are absolutely essential to understanding what's working and what needs to shift in your life. Honestly acknowledging what's not working is the first step toward creating something better for yourself. Here's a practical exercise to help you gain a little clarity about what's no longer serving you. I want you to grab a pen and paper and make 2 lists. On the first list, detail what drains you, what's feeling heavy and exhausting or misaligned in your life. On the second list, write down what energizes you, what makes you feel alive and excited and fulfilled. Both lists can be made up of people, places, activities, or commitments. Anything that comes to mind in the moment. Once you have the list completed, compare them. What do you notice? Does anything stand out or surprise you? Seeing these lists side by side can be incredibly eye-opening and can really help you pinpoint what's out of alignment and what needs to change in your life. And remember, no judgment here. Simply notice and acknowledge the results. This exercise isn't about tearing ourselves down. It's simply about gaining some awareness. Because awareness is the launching pad for our transformations. It's where we hit pause and start to really see and acknowledge the areas where change can benefit our lives. Once you've done the hard work of gaining clarity on where you are, you can move on to the exciting step of envisioning where you want to go. Pivoting isn't just about leaving something behind. It's about stepping into something new and meaningful. But before you can take that step, you need a clear vision of where you're headed. Without that clear vision, you risk getting stuck in uncertainty where you end up making decisions based on fear rather than intention. So let's get clear on your direction. Ask yourself these key questions. What does success look like in this next chapter? Remember, this is about your definition of success, not society's. What values do I want to prioritize? Think freedom, security, connection, joy, family. What do I want my day-to-day life to feel like? What kind of work and relationships and lifestyle truly light me up? And the big one, what am I no longer willing to compromise on? When you take the time to articulate your vision, you create a guiding light for yourself, something to keep yourself focused and grounded, even when doubts creep in. To help you solidify that vision, when you have a moment and are able, I'd like you to try a powerful visualization exercise. It is one of my all-time favorites. For this exercise, find a comfortable spot to sit or recline, and when you're ready, close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Focus on the feeling of your feet or your body on the floor. Shift to a position where you feel comfortable but grounded and aware. And based on your preference, either think about or picture yourself 3 years from now, living a life with no limitations, living a life dictated by you and your needs, free of shoulds and any expectations. What do you see? Where are you? What does your ideal day look like? Who are you surrounded by? What kind of work are you doing? How do you feel? What emotions are present? Take some time to notice the details and hold them in your heart. When you're ready, open your eyes and consider what you've just experienced. What did you observe? What would you need to let go of today to help you live that vision in the future? If you'd like to take this exercise just a little bit further to truly capture your vision, write a letter to yourself from that future self that you just peeked in on and describe that amazing life in detail. When you're done, read it out loud to yourself and really try to absorb the vision. Feel free to refer back to this letter during your change journey to help you stay focused on your goals. One of the reasons I love this exercise so much is because it not only helps you see the possibilities for your future, but it also trains your brain to actually believe them. You see, our brains can't really distinguish between vivid visualizations and reality. This means that when we visualize something intensely, our brains react as if it's actually happening. And we all know that we tend to believe what we see. So you are actually training your brain to believe in your vision. How amazing is that? It's an incredible opportunity. And when you truly see your vision, you can start making it real. So go ahead and give yourself permission to dream big. Visualize something extraordinary for yourself. And I know that thinking big can sometimes trigger fear. That's why the next step is all about embracing that fear and building resilience around it. Let's be honest, pivoting can be scary. Even when you crave change and know it's the right move, the unknown can feel daunting. But here's the thing, fear isn't a stop sign. It's actually a signal that you're growing. Think of it like a challenging workout. When you push yourself to that final rep where your muscles are burning and all you can think about is stopping, that's where the muscles are growing and where your strength is being built. The same is true for personal growth. Fear shows up when you're pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. That's where the magic happens. So instead of asking, what if this goes wrong? Try asking, What if this goes right? What is the best possible outcome for myself? Fear makes us hyper-aware of potential failure, but it rarely encourages us to consider the amazing possibilities that could happen if things went well. And while that may be really frustrating, our brains are just trying to keep us safe because they are wired for survival. They love the familiar because it feels safe, even if it's not fulfilling. So when you contemplate big change, your brain might be sounding the alarm bells, not because you're making the wrong choice, but because you're stepping into something new. Here's the truth. Fear doesn't mean don't do it. It simply means this is new. The key isn't to eliminate fear, but to learn how to move forward with it. So how do we do that? Well, we begin by acknowledging our fear. Write it down. Get specific about what's triggering it. Then challenge that fear. Ask yourself, is this fear a fact, or is this just a story I'm telling myself? More often than not, it's just a story. And if it is just a story, capitalize on your resilience. Think back to a time when you faced a fear and you overcame it. You have done hard things before, and you can absolutely do them again. Every woman who has ever made a bold pivot has felt fear, but they didn't let it stop them. They learned to walk with their fear and use it as fuel and take that step anyway. Fear is not a stop sign. It's an invitation to grow and evolve and create the life you truly desire for yourself. So the next time fear whispers, what if this goes wrong? I want you to shout back, what if this goes right? Whew. How does that feel to be in control of your fear? You've made peace with fear. It is finally time to take action. Step 4 is all about taking those small intentional steps forward. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when we're facing a big change. We often feel pressure to have it all figured out and to make massive leaps forward. But I want to let you in on a little secret, which has taken me years to realize. You don't have to do everything all at once. You just have to start. Successful, big life-changing pivots aren't made in a single leap. They aren't built in grand gestures. They are built on small, intentional micro steps. Remember Rocky's iconic run up the Philadelphia Museum of Art steps? It seemed impossible to climb from the bottom, but by focusing on just the first step and then the next, he eventually reached the top. That is the power of small steps. What feels overwhelming becomes achievable when we break it down and focus on the present moment. Because when you take small intentional actions, 3 powerful things happen. You build momentum as each small win fuels your motivation, making the next step easier. You quiet the fear because taking action reminds your brain that you are strong and capable, loosening fear's grip over you. And you make real progress as your small, consistent steps add up to significant life transformation. And that's why your pivot doesn't have to start with a dramatic overhaul. It can be as simple as having a single conversation, making one small decision, or taking that first step up the staircase. So if you're switching careers, maybe your first step is to reach out to someone in your field. If you're starting a business, maybe it's spending 30 minutes brainstorming ideas for your first offer. Whatever your pivot looks like, there's always a small step you can take today to get started. So, if you're feeling stuck, ask yourself, what's one small action I can take today to move me toward my vision? And then do it, even if it's tiny, even if it feels insignificant. And even if it's not perfect, progress is progress, no matter how small. Please don't wait for the perfect time or until you feel ready, because there is rarely such a thing as the perfect time. Clarity comes from the actions we take because we learn from them and adjust as we go. How freeing is that realization? I'm going to say it again. Clarity comes from the actions we take because we learn and we adjust as we go. That means that the key to taking action is consistency, not perfection. So ditch the pressure to have it all figured out and focus instead on taking one small step at a time. And one of the best ways to stay consistent is to find your cheerleaders, which conveniently leads us to our final step. Let's be real. Big life changes can feel lonely. But here's the truth. You don't have to navigate them alone. In fact, you shouldn't. When you surround yourself with the right people, those who uplift you, challenge you, and encourage you, navigating your pivot journey becomes much easier, more fulfilling, and way less overwhelming. Support and accountability during times of change are essential to help you stay motivated. Change takes time, and it is easy to lose steam along the way. A solid support system reminds you why you started on your journey and keeps you going when self-doubt inevitably creeps in. Support and accountability helps you gain fresh perspectives as well. Sometimes we're just too close to our own struggles to see solutions. A mentor, coach, or a like-minded community can offer invaluable insights you didn't previously consider. And support and accountability can help you move forward faster. Having someone to help you stay accountable means someone is helping you stay on track, gently nudging you when you need it, and cheering you on as you take each step. Think about it. Professional athletes have coaches, successful entrepreneurs have mentors, and even the most independent people have support systems around them. Your pivot journey should be no different. And the good news is you don't need a massive network. You just need the right people in your corner. So you might start with finding a mentor. Seek out someone who has successfully navigated a similar pivot that can offer you guidance and wisdom. Maybe consider hiring a coach. A life or a business coach can help you gain clarity, set goals, and navigate obstacles with confidence. And yes, this is where I come in. Just like you, the majority of my clients are facing pivot points in their life and look to me to help support them through their journey and hold them accountable. And I love helping them and women just like you create those extraordinary transformations. You could also join a community. Maybe connect with a group of like-minded women who are navigating big changes. Through the group coaching programs that I host, it's clear that shared experiences create a powerful sense of connection and strength. Ultimately, you need people who will champion your progress, celebrate your wins, and lovingly call you out when you're getting in your own way. If you're feeling stuck along your journey, just ask yourself, who can support me right now? And then reach out, send that message, join that group, or book that call. You don't have to figure it out all alone. With the right people by your side, you will go farther and faster. So please don't wait. Build your support system now. The future you will be incredibly grateful that you did. Whew, we did it. We got through all 5. Covered a lot today. Take your time to digest these steps and feel free to revisit this episode as you navigate your pivot journey. As we wrap up, remember this. You are not stuck. You are in transition. Your pivot isn't an ending. It's the beginning of something incredible. By acknowledging where you are, clarifying your vision, embracing fear, taking intentional steps, and finding support, you can step into your next chapter with confidence and purpose. And if you'd like some guidance along the way, I am here to support you. Whether you're looking for one-on-one coaching or the power of community support, I would love to be a part of your journey. I believe that finances shouldn't be a barrier to creating the life or business you've always dreamed of. So while I offer premium coaching packages for those seeking a deep dive in their pivot journey, I also offer flexible coaching options to accommodate various budgets and various levels of commitment. As a fellow DIYer, I understand the desire for support that complements your own efforts. And so I've created a coaching program specifically designed for those who prefer the same. Regardless of where you are on your pivot journey, you don't have to do this alone. If you're ready to stop overthinking and start taking action, let's make it happen together. Book a free strategy session with me at pivotista.com and let's map out your next chapter so you can move forward with clarity, confidence, and purpose. Thank you so much for joining me today. My wish for you is to go out there and pivot boldly. You've got this.